Hey everybody, it's Judy Klock, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia, coming to you with another tutorial, and I'm having some technical difficulties with my computer and the built-in camera tonight, so it's just going to be my desk camera, which is fine. You don't need to see my smiling face every week. But tonight I'm going to show you how to take one 6x6 piece of paper and create 4 to 5 cards with it. So we're doing a one sheet wonder, a 6x6 one sheet wonder. Now I did cut this down from a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So in theory, you'll end up with 4 of these, and you could get anywhere from 16 to 20 cards from that one sheet of 12 by 12 paper using this cut map. And all of the measurements and all of the dimensionals for all of the different layers are available on the inspiration sheet, which is inside my inspiration vault, available to subscribers. I'll leave the link down below in the description in case you decide you want to subscribe and get all of the inspiration sheets going back to the beginning of this year. So I add one about each week. So there's lots in there. So it's all good. In addition, we're going to be adding some of these beautiful, these are called gilded wing accents. This is a new product that's coming out on July 1st. So we're going to be working with these. I will say, punching out these little pieces on some of these butterflies, a little bit of a pain. Not going to lie, a little bit of a pain to get those out. But we're going to take this one sheet of paper and we're going to make 5 cards with it. Let me show you. So there's our first card. There's our second card. Our third card. On our 4th and 5th cards, because we cut this piece on the diagonal. Now, if you don't want to use it for 2 separate, so cutting it on the diagonal and using it for 2 separate cards, that's what gives you the 5 cards. If you don't want to do that, you can use them on 1 card and get 4 cards out of this, this cut. So let's go ahead and get started. And I did have some technical difficulties earlier. So some of the stuff is going to seem pre-done because hello, I had technical difficulties and I lost one of my cameras, but here we go, we're back. So for our first card, I've got a sheet of our thick basic white. It's a standard A2 size. I just cut it the long ways so that it was scored at 5.5 as opposed to 4 1/4. I took one of our pieces, I put it on a piece of bubble bath, and the colors in this particular paper are Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Darling Duckling, and Bubble Bath. So I put the Bubble Bath piece on here. I am going to pop this up on some dimensionals. And I used the banner staying stamp set. Well, first, I want to use one of these butterflies. I'm going to use one of the bigger ones. And for this, you will need your Stampin' Pierce mat because we're going to go ahead and try to poke out all of these pieces, which, like I said, is a bit of a pain, but you have your pierce mat. And I did find that if you don't go slow, it can rip the gold foil on here. So just take your time. There's no rush. I probably won't do all of these on this video because it can be a little boring to sit there and watch me poke out all of these pieces, but these are really pretty accents. Like I said, they're called Gilded Wings. They'll be available starting July 1st, which is just a few days away. Can you believe it? Next Friday is already the 4th of July holiday. I know the 4th is on Saturday, but most businesses will be closed on the 3rd to give their employees a nice long weekend, which is always fun. My kids will be out here on Saturday with a bunch of their friends. They told me that they're hosting a 4th of July party out at my house, which is fine. They've got a great group of friends. They come out, they do all the cooking, they bring all the food, and they clean up after themselves. So all I got to do is just sort of get the house ready to begin with. And then the guys and girls that come, they really do everything else. So it's a lot of fun. It's nice that my kids feel comfortable enough to say we're hosting a party at your house. So that is all good. Like they're both grown. They're, grown and flown, but we're out in the country on a lot of acreage. So they just like to come here and so they don't have to really worry about noise or crowds or parking and all that good stuff. All right. So now we've got that, get those out of the way. those back there. I'm gonna add just a little bit of glue to the center of his body. I kind of wish these had come with like adhesive backing. That would have been the only thing that would have made these, in my book, a little bit better. I'll put some down here. Just going to put some glue there, and we're just going to glue this right up there. So how pretty is that? I love these gilded wing accents. All right, then I use the triple banner punch to cut out a banner, and I'm going to use some Misty Moonlight. And we're just going to stamp a simple happy birthday. So that is really it for this card. Ooh, that's a little crooked, folks. Good thing paper has two sides. See, I've kind of marked my area so I know if I keep it between these lines, I should still be on camera, because I know sometimes I can drift off as I'm trying to see what I'm doing. It's a little bit hard. And I'm going to pop this up on some mini dimensionals because it's a skinny little banner. Just going to do that. Maybe 3 should do it. And now I have glue on my finger, so everything's going to stick to it, including apparently that dimensional. All right. And that is our first card. So quick, simple, easy with that beautiful butterfly on there. Very nice. I like that one. Leave me a comment. Let me know which one you like. Our next one, I've got some Darling Duckling here. And I'm going to put a piece of our basic white on the inside because I like to have that piece in there. I just think it gives the card a little bit of a finished look. I don't know about you, but that's just my little quirky thing I like to do. Do you add white inserts to your cards? Let me know. Leave me a comment and let me know. Then I emboss it. This is the new Stars and Swirls, I think it's called. I'll have to put the Swirls of Magic. That's what it's called. Swirls of Magic embossing folder. This is also coming out on July 1st. This is actually part of the Halloween suite, but I don't really think it looks very Halloween because it just got these swirls and these stars. I think you could use it for anything, for a celebration, for Christmas. So I ended up getting it because I thought it was very pretty, and I thought was very versatile and not just limited to a Halloween. I don't really make Halloween cards. I don't really have anyone that I send them to, so getting a Halloween stuff is just not really my jam. But I know there are some people that love it. That's their thing. Okay, then we're going to add, we've got our little squares here. I can't even pick this stuff up. Okay. Now this one I kind of put on a little bit of an angle. I kind of thought that would be a fun little thing to do. So I don't know why. I just thought it would be kind of fun. I'm just going to add some glue there. Okay, we're going to add this on there. Okay, there's no right or wrong way, just however you feel it should be. And then we're going to add some dimensionals to the back of this. I literally just had my dimensionals like right here, and now they're gone. Ooh, where do they go? I don't understand where they go. Here we go. Like, I know I had the minis, but I had the bigger ones too. Like, I literally was just using them on the other card. I'm just hoping that this does not flake out on me again and disappear, because both of my cameras disappeared last time, and now one came back and one didn't. So, all right, we're just going to put that on there like that. Now I have a little, I did the rounded corners rectangle. There's my punch, and I took this from the All of Flutter stamp set. It says fluttering by to say hi. And once again, I am going to use our Misty Moonlight. That's what I love. I really only use like 2 colors of ink for this. So there we go, fluttering by to say hi. let's go ahead and add this up on some dimensionals. About 3 should be okay for this. Okay, I'm going to kind of put this sort of in the center, but sort of just a little bit off. And then I do want to put some butterflies on. Now, I do want to put this one on, but I'm not going to take all the time right now to pop out all those pieces. So we're just going to put on 2 of the smaller ones that are solid. Fortunately, the smaller ones are solid. So that's very helpful. And these little solid ones comes in all different sizes. Like I said, I kind of wish these had been adhesive backed. I just think that would have been so much better. All right. And then this one, I'll punch that out and we'll put that on. And that is card number 2. And that is what it looks like. I positioned this a little bit lower. So this one, I kind of raised it up a little bit. So that is our second card. Our third card, oh my goodness, I did forget to get a stamp out, but that's okay. So for this one, I took the long skinny piece. Not that it's that long or that skinny. But we're just going to, again, add this to a piece of Lost Lagoon. I was trying to pick up all the colors in this particular piece of designer series paper that I thought would look well together. Okay. And let's go ahead and pop this up. Let me just down a little bit. I can feel my hands sticky from that glue. That's what I hate. The only thing I hate about liquid glue is the fact that I do get it all over me. I just don't have apparently any control when it comes to using it. I make a mess. All right, we're going to put this down. Oh, I wish I could put that a little bit over more, a little bit, but that's okay. It's fine. Oops. And I just dropped my circle. Hang on. All right, once again, pulling in our Misty Moonlight. I've got a Thinking of You, and this is from the Phrases and Frames bundle. So I'm just going to put a Thinking of You. Okay. Now we're going to pop this up on our dimensionals, of course. I do love my dimensionals. You know that. You know that I love my dimensionals. Okay, Thinking of You. Now here I've got one of the bigger solid butterflies. We're going to put him on some dimensionals also. And maybe just a couple of smaller dimensionals on the top of his wings, just to kind of keep them from flopping down. So this is where the different sizes of dimensionals really do come in handy, because sometimes you've got pieces that are like they're kind of small, but you still want to put a dimensional on them. Okay. Then I've got 2 more of the little ones here. Okay, let's put these on. Let's see if we can get just a tiniest bit of glue on here. I don't need much because these are tiny. Okay, and then we'll put one on our label. Like that might even be too much glue on there. All right, let's go here. Okay, and we'll put one right there. Okay, there is our third card. Okay, so again, simple, easy peasy. I love those gold butterflies on there. And then our next card, we're going to use 1/2 of our diagonally cut piece. Okay, so I've got here, again, a piece of bubble bath. I've already embossed it. I use the Dainty Designs. It is a retired embossing folder, but I do like it. So, excuse me, so I continued to use it. This is, I always use liquid glue when I have an embossed piece. I just think it holds better. And I'm going to have a little tiny edge around my, it's not going to go all the way to the edge. You're going to see some of that pretty pink border. We're going to mount this on a piece of Misty Moonlight. Okay. All right. And then we're going to, oh, I forgot to put this piece on the inside. Let me do that real quick. I think I forgot to do that on my other one too. I'll have to go back and do that. See, I'm just getting so caught up in everything. I'm forgetting. All right, we're going to pop, again, we're going to put this on dimensionals. We're going to put it on with our dimensionals on our card front. That's that piece for the third card that I forgot to put in there. Oops. See, and I'm already kind of going off screen here, but I'm just putting on dimensionals. So hopefully nothing important or earth shaking is occurring off camera. Okay. All right, we're going to put this on our card front. Then from the Cutest Crew stamp set, I'm going to stamp. I did have just a note. Oh, it felt like it fell off the block. I'm like, I know I put it on the block. It fell off, and I'm going to use again our Misty Moonlight. I keep putting it off to the side, and I keep losing it. Okay. So we're going to stamp just a note. Or, I'm sorry, just a little hello. And this is from the Cutest Crew bundle. Isn't that adorable? I love it. Okay. Now, sometimes what I like to do is just to add a little bit of color to the edge. I'll just kind of roll it in the ink pad and see how it adds just a little tiny bit of color to the edge of our circle. All right, we're done with our Misty Moonlight for now. This I'm going to actually just put down flat right on there, and I'm going to put that right up there. And then I've got one of our solid butterflies, and I am going to also just put this on with a little bit of glue. So we're going to glue this flat to the front. Okay. So that is card number 4. And for our last one, I wanted to go a little bit more masculine. So I flipped it. Now I can't find my other piece. There it is. So I flipped it to the reverse side, which was just the white with the crumb cake polka dots. I thought that felt just a little bit more masculine. And I used the new tree rings. What is it? Textured Tree Rings embossing folder. Again, coming out July 1st, which is literally next Tuesday. So like just, I don't know, what's that, 4 or 5 days from now? There we go. It's on the inside. This I am going to pop up on some dimensionals. I just love dimensionals. I love using them. I love putting things on them. I just think they add just a little bit of fun to a card. Just like wobbles and spinners, and love dimensionals. Giving them a little bit of height, just makes it, I think, interesting. All right, we're going to put that there. And it doesn't matter if you put this triangle bottom, left, top, right. It really doesn't matter. So just however you like it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Now we're going to come back here again with our Thinking of You, which I do need to clean off, and I hope I did. Like I said, I have craft room Jenga going on outside the camera, where supplies just kind of piled on top of one another. When you go to grab one, you have to make sure that the rest of the pile doesn't fall down. Who else plays craft room or craft desk Jenga with supplies? Please tell me I am not alone. All right, thinking of you. All right, we're going to map that on a bigger um, circle of Lost. I'm sorry, not Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock. I keep wanting to say Lost Lagoon, but and even though Pretty Peacock was not one of the colors in that designer series paper that I was using, because I um, used the reverse side with just the crumb cake, it didn't really matter. I could kind of put whatever colors on there that I wanted. So I did the crumb cake with the Lost Lagoon and the Pretty Peacock because I really do love Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock together. I'm just going to add some of this twine behind my circle. Okay, I just kind of like to make a little bit of a messy bunch with it. And we're going to put a little bit of, well, that's not going to work. A little bit of Stamp and Seal there. Just kind of hold some of this twine in place. Kind of a messy circle. And then we're going to add our circle on top of that with some dimensionals. I'm going to use 4 here because I want to make sure that I have enough to kind of catch the cardstock below that linen thread. Okay. All right. Just going to stick that right there. Ooh, okay. I want to have this show a little bit more so you can kind of play around with that so you have as much of that thread showing as you want. Okay. And those are the 4 to 5 different cards that you can make from this one sheet wonder. We have our 2 diagonal pieces. You can use those 2 diagonal pieces in 2 separate cards, or you can use them on 1 card. Got our skinny rectangle, our square, and our longer rectangle. That's it. I hope that you enjoyed this little one sheet wonder. Like I said, all of the measurements will be and the cut map will be in my inspiration library. It is available to subscribers. It is $9 a month, and you get all of the inspiration sheets that I have put in there since the beginning of January, as well as a couple of, bonus items, bonus tutorials, and whatnot. That's it for me. Have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you next week, and hopefully both my cameras will be working. Have a good night. Bye.